I'm Todd Lando. I'm the Wildfire Hazard Mitigation Specialist, Battalion Chief with Central Marin Fire Department. I'm the Vice President at Fire Safe Marin. I've been active as a firefighter in the wildfire prevention community in Marin for almost 30 years. Situational awareness has to do with how you get your alerts and warnings. You need to take steps in advance, like now, today, if you haven't already, to ensure that you're going to receive the electronic warnings that we send out. In Marin, we use Alert Marin, we use Nixle. We have options to send out things like the wireless emergency alerts, similar to the presidential alerts that ring every cell phone in a region. We use NOAA weather radios. I'll cover those in a little more detail in an upcoming slide. But you've got to be registered for, and you've got to understand how you might receive alerts when a fire's threatening your community. Alert Marin, I mentioned, this is our primary emergency notification system in Marin County. Virtually every county in Northern California has a similar system. I'll bet you most counties nationwide have some type of emergency alerting system. I say this because I know there are a lot of people viewing this who aren't from Marin. This is Marin County. If you live south of Sonoma County and north of San Francisco, this is how you will receive your emergency notifications when an evacuation for a wildfire is necessary. This is the best tool we've got. It works well. It has a few slight limitations that I'll talk about, but this is something that you've got to be aware of, and you need to pre-register for it if you haven't already. Alert Marin needs to know your address, and it needs to know how to contact you. The three primary systems I mentioned, I'm going to really quickly breeze through this, but Alert Marin, that's the primary system. Nixle is a service that's available to any government agency to send out informational notices. We'll oftentimes repeat messages that went out via Alert Marin on Nixle, but we can't target specific street addresses with Nixle. Nixle will send out notifications to an entire zip code, and that's not always the best choice for sending out evacuation notices, especially when the firefighters want to stagger evacuations or target specific streets and neighborhoods to evacuate them in the order that makes the most sense related to what the fire's doing. So Nixle, little more broad reach. Because of that, we use it for informational notices that should go out to the entire community rather than targeted messages. Social media, commonly used. It's a great source of information. Your fire department, sheriff's office is probably using social media like Twitter, Facebook, and Nextdoor to get information out. This is going to be lower level information. Again, it might repeat evacuation information that's already been distributed elsewhere, but this is where you're going to get sort of the basic information about road closures and possibly evacuation centers and resources that might be available to you as an evacuee or someone who's living in a fire zone. When we use these notification systems, the terminology that's distributed is really important. You've got to understand what the message you receive means. There will be some helpful information, some guiding language when you receive the notices, but you've still got to look at this and think about it in advance. So hearing this tonight, I think, will help some of you. An evacuation order. This is the most important message you might receive. This means that you need to evacuate immediately. You're not going to delay to gather your belongings. You're not going to delay to prepare your home. You're going to take care of your personal safety. Doesn't mean you just run out the door. I'm going to show you a couple things you need to do in advance of an evacuation order or when you receive it. But you're not going to take the time to gather up a bunch of belongings and load your car. You've got to go when you receive the order. An evacuation warning is the next level down. This is a notification that says that you do have some time to prepare. You've certainly got time to prepare yourself, your family, your pets. You also probably have some time to prepare your home, things that you can do outside of the home that we'll talk about a little bit later, and you gather those belongings, gather grandma's photo albums and the things that are important to you, your electronic information, that sort of thing. Load your car and be prepared for evacuation. We in Marin County only use the evacuation warning if you have in the belief of the firefighters who are directing the fire, at least 2 hours to evacuate. Oftentimes it's much more. In this, the case of the Woodward fire that's burning in Marin right now, some of the evacuation warnings have been in effect for almost a week. Lots of time to prepare and get yourself ready. Shelter in place is another, I don't want to say it's a lower level message because it can mean a couple of different things. It means you need to stay secured in your current location. That might be because we understand in the fire service that evacuation could be more dangerous than leaving your home. Oftentimes it simply means that we think that it would be best if you didn't evacuate and you allowed the fire service, firefighters, to come in and fight the fire. Stay in your home, stay secured, go through our checklists that we're going to talk a lot about, and make sure that you stay safe indoors.